All right, but let's dive into today. Let's talk about today. Today is Money Monday, March 18th. Right now, ATOS. ATOS is still continuing to move on up. ATOS at this time is where the mob is heading. Again, the mob is basically that group of traders that are just like the Finding Nemo seagulls. Mine, 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 mine. And they're all just flying around, all chasing the same fish. They really have no idea what's going on. They're just blinded by greed. They're blinded by food, right? They're all just saying, hey, what's the best ripper? All right, ATOS is moving. I'm going there. I'm going there. I'm going there, right? ATOS, we've been talking about this one since where now? 410 break, 425 break? And ATOS so far has been able to move on up, has been able to get a nice rip and be able to get a nice run. Again, reasons why ATOS is moving. A, it broke, its high of the day right here, up to that 415-ish mark. B, ATOS is a previous supernova. This stock went from 160 and it was spiked all the way up to 730. ATOS did come out with a press release this morning talking about having a receipt for $10 million. So ATOS right now, since everything else did fail off, since everything else lost the volume, since everything else lost the hype, ATOS is starting to get it. What else are we getting, though? What else went on a big-time spike last week? What else went on a big-time run last week? Not only ATX, didn't AKTX? And look at AKTX right now, guys, looking for that possible $5 break. And look how they're kind of on similar setups, right? ATOS right here, nice big rip and run trying to come on up. Look at this, guys, AKTX. Looking for the $5 break right here. And this is the mid-candle breakout pattern. So we got AKTX, $5 break happening right here from the mid-candle breakout pattern. Let's see if that's going to hold. Let's give that a second. And if this volume can hold, and if it can hold $5, $5 as main support, that's where this could be a nice consistent climber. So if this can hold that $5 mark, that's when we could see some nice consistent climbing. But a lot of traders are doing what right now? A lot of traders are going back to previous top gainers. And I've given this analogy many times before. If you wake up in the morning and traders look at hot press releases, and we see hot press releases, where are traders going to go? They're going to go immediately to those hot press releases, right? That's where people are going to want. They're always going to look for the brand new thing, the new hot thing. And these hot press releases get the initial hype and volume. But if those initial hype and volume die on off, where do people head back to? The previous top gainers, the previous supernovas, because they know those are money makers. They know ATOS can make people money. They know AKTX can make people money. Right? I give the example, imagine you guys have your favorite restaurant. You have your favorite restaurant, and every single day, you go there and you have a great cheeseburger or whatever. And let's say a brand new restaurant opens on up. And you're like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And you go there and you have a cheeseburger and you're like, oh, this cheeseburger kind of sucks. You know what? Let me go back to my other restaurant. My restaurant that I know has good cheeseburgers. Right? The restaurant that I know and love, that I know it has good food. That's basically like AKTX and ATOS right now. Traders played that all week. We know it has good food there. We know we can make money there. People this morning, hey, new press releases came out. Hey, there's a couple new restaurants open. Let's try them out. And guess what? A lot went on a quick pop, quick run, and then dropped right back on off. Right? So I just try to give you guys a little fun analogy. It's just so you guys can relate to it a little bit better, and it's not all sort of stock trading terms and numbers. That's why I like to do that. So try to give you guys something you can relate to. Now with that being said, ATOS right here has a little bit more hype, a little bit more volume, and that's been going on a very nice rip. And we're going to talk about that right here. As we already stated, why is this stock breaking out? One, it broke through the high of the day, right? Breaking through the high of the day is what, guys? Detailed resistance. There are three types of resistance line and support lines. We have natural, right? We have past chart history pattern, right? And we have detailed. Detailed would be falling under high of the day, low of the day, 52-week high, 52-week low, previous high, pre-market high, anything along those lines, right? So ATOS broke through this 415 mark. Look at the buying volume right here, right? Notice the buying volume that moves in at the break of 415. Stock moved on up, got all this hype because it's a previous supernova with a decent press release this morning. Sets itself up in what pattern? A bull flag pattern, and goes right there. So if you can break this down, and again, I do this every single day, there are many different areas where you can break down this play to see some predictability, right? Where can you guys see your first level of predictability? Honestly, your first level of predictability could just be a U-shaped pattern right here, right? A nice red to green move. We fall underneath the open. We come back up to the open. We break the open. Guess what happens? We get a nice big breakout. And I actually want to put the volume underneath this as well. I want to get that included. So we have our first, red to green move, right? The stock, makes this U-shaped pattern. We come on up to the open. You see the little volume increase right here. Stock gets a nice pop. Goes on a nice run. Guess what then happened? The stocks started coming back on down. Started making a little pops, little drops. Starts moving on up. What can we notice though? Doesn't matter if it's popping and dropping and moving on up. The most important thing is boom. This stock is building higher lows. It has higher lows with a top resistance line. This means that this stock is going to start getting squeezed. And if this stock starts getting squeezed, it's setting itself up in an ascending triangle pattern. And if we have an ascending triangle pattern right here, we know that that stock could lead towards a nice possible rip and a nice possible run. So we have our ascending triangle pattern, which sets itself up. And we get this nice big candle right here. All right, we got this nice big candle, or we get this nice big rip right here where we go on a nice pop. And we see, it starts falling back on down a little bit. But we also see that it's building higher lows. So then we have a nice big spike. We have the stock falling, but also building higher lows. What is that setting itself up into? Now that's setting itself up into one of these great bull flag patterns, which is leading towards a nice pop, which leads to a nice climb, which leads to a nice rip, right? These bull flag patterns, which definitely lead to some nice big spiking. And this bull flag pattern led to this play continue to move on up and continue to go. A lot of people always ask me, guys, Dek, can I just learn one pattern? Can I just learn one pattern and play it over and over and over again? Can I just learn one strategy and just do that over and over again? You could, but that's just limiting yourself so much. That's like being a baseball pitcher and being like, oh, I just want to learn fastball. That's all I want to learn. I just want to learn to throw a really good fastball. Now, with that being said, if you perfect the fastball, can you get a couple strikeouts maybe here and there? Can you get a couple people to swing and miss? Yeah, but guess what? If you ever go to the major leagues, if you start going up there and all you do is throw fastballs, what do you think people are going to do? They're going to be like, all right, this one's going right down the middle, guaranteed it's a fastball, and they're going to be able to knock it out of the park over and over and over again, right? People will be like, hey, all this guy does is throw fastballs. That's it. Doesn't have a changeup, doesn't have a curveball, doesn't have a slider, doesn't have a knuckleball, doesn't have anything, right? You're just going to throw it right down the middle every time. So you're really limiting yourself. What did I just do right there? We had a red to green move. We had an ascending triangle pattern. We had a bull flag pattern. All three different predictability, all three different predictable patterns that you were able to see right here for the stock to continue to climb, for the stock to continue to run, for the stock to continue to move on up. So, ATOS, it's a beautiful example of being able to learn as many patterns as possible so that you guys can continue to take your trading to the next level, right? Because if you guys don't know these patterns, then you're missing out on some possible easy profit. And we see that a lot. We do see that a lot. Now, with that being said, I do want to take the time right here to go over my trade today, which was INNT. Now, INNT, this was a very nice morning rip, a very nice morning run, and I was able to make a $222 profit, which I've already showed you guys this morning. Again, here's my P&L. As always, as I always say, guys, here is real-time account number right here from TD Ameritrade, and I have, of course, the actual P&L if anyone ever wants to see that. And again, of course, the reasons why I stress that so much is just because on Twitter, on StockTwits, on Facebook, on Instagram, there's people again saying, "Oh, look how much I make," and never ever have any sort of proof. That's why I always want to show my P&L on everything I do. So you guys can see right here, $222 profit. This trade was from 9:36 to 9:37, less than a minute, and I was able to make $222. And that's what it really is, guys. It's very amazing that you guys can make this sort of profit in less than a minute. I used to work a 10-hour job making minimum wage, $7.50, $8 an hour outside in the freezing cold on a ski resort, right? And I was only making about $70 out of a 10-hour shift. I just made $222 in 45 seconds. right? How insane is that? So let's look at this. 378 was my price. I got in at, and I got out at $4 right here. So with that being said, I was not in early on this play at all. As you guys can see, I was in at what area? Boom, right here. A little bit late. Deck, you're getting a little chasey there. And where did I get out? Boom, right here. I got out. Little side note, guys. ATOS, still going. ATOS, still moving. And as you guys can see right here, we can basically just put this thing on a trend line now. And we are seeing what other pattern just formed. Another bull flag pattern, guys. Nice big spike, bull flag. Nice big spike, bull flag. Nice big spike. Where's resistance? Resistance, little heads up, is going to be right here at the old open. And that's going to be right around 530, 535. So that's where you want to lock in something. If it breaks it, you go to the next area of detailed resistance, which is going to be around 562, which is going to be the previous high. All right. So Friday's previous high was right around 562. The open on Friday was right around 535-ish. That's going to be holding up as resistance. And that's where we're going to start seeing some selling. But nice big spike so far. So INT right here, this play, was I getting a little chasey? Yeah, I was a little chasey on this one. Now, how did I get in on INT? Why did I buy in on INT? What was my reason? Well, this morning, as you guys know, I'm up every single morning. I'm up every morning, before 7 a.m. watching everything. Now, INT came out the press release at what time today? 8:51. And it came into a press release talking about enters in a security purchase agreement to fund the initiation of its phase 3 clinical trials. And what this is saying right here is we have the company, a different company, purchasing 4.2 million shares of common stock at the price of 2.33. So we have another company purchasing this many shares, 4 million, at the price of 2.33. Now, when we see another company invest into another company, we see very big rips, we see very big climbs, we see very big pops, right? We saw, last week, DCAR finally started getting a little bit of hype towards it. And this play, what started happening on DCAR? We finally got that nice pop we were waiting for from, 380 all the way up towards around 526. Now, that's not really a big one, but we did see VTVT. Remember VTVT? This is when, same exact thing, Forbes invested in VTVT, bought like 8 million shares at, I think it was like 220. And the stock spiked all the way up to $6. I remember like the first one I ever saw was what? I'm trying to think. VLTX, I want to say. Something along these lines. I'll think if I think of it, I'll definitely come towards it. This was like 2.5, 3 years ago, or actually longer than that, when I saw Carl Icahn invest in the shares that went on a giant rip and a giant run. So I saw that this morning in pre-market, and you say, well, Deck, why didn't you buy it in pre-market? Because no one bought in on this. It was dead. It was absolutely dead in pre-market. And then as you guys can see, right when the day opened, that's when this thing really started taking on off. So I saw this right around this 850 mark, and nothing really happened. And then all of a sudden you could see it went on this giant rip and giant run. So the moment I saw it pop up on the high of the day momentum scanner, the moment I saw it become a top gainer, I went ahead and checked it out, and the thing was flying. Now, it was flying on up, and I'm saying to myself, wow, this could be the next potential, like VTVT. That's what I think of, where it ran all the way up towards $6. I want to look for a possible entry. So all I did was run over INT, typed it in, and clicked market order buy. And as you guys know, when you click buy on a market order, you just get filled right away. And that's why I got filled at a little bit of a higher price at 378. And again, the stock was right at like 376 at this time. And I got filled, and I went all the way up to 430. Now, at 430, it did look like the stock got halted. The stock had a level 2 massive, like a ton of orders. The bids were stacked, the asks were stacked, and the stock didn't move at all. And I was like, oh, yes, we got halted. Let's watch for a nice big gap up, and then we'll be all set. And I took off my finger off the trigger there for a second. And then what started happening? It did start moving a little bit, start shaking a little bit, and then it actually started coming back on down. So it actually wasn't a halt. It looked like a halt. It actually stood there for about 10 seconds, didn't get halted, and then started coming back on down because I guess that, we basically had enough sellers to match the buyers, and that's when it started coming back on down. I took my finger off the trigger for a second. I was actually up about $530 at my high, and then the stock started coming back on down. That's when I got my hand back on my mouse, and then I basically just exit out of that trade. And again, how did I exit out? Is on a sell market order. I get that question every single day. People always ask, Deck, how do you get in your big time breakouts? How do you get in on plays so quick? All I'm doing is just going INT. I have 1,000 shares already typed out, right? Mostly, guys, when I'm on a small account, it's going to be around 1,000 shares. So I always have 1,000 shares typed out. I always have my price type on a market order. So all I have to do, if I see a big time breakout, if I have this empty usually as well, all I have to do on a big time breakout is type INT, boom, and click buy, boom. That's it. INT, that's all I click, buy, boom. How long did that take me? Ready? Let's time it. Let's see INTs, let's say popping up on the top gainer list right now. Ready? 3, 2, 1, INT, boom, and buy, boom. 3 seconds, 2 seconds tops. Right? And I'm in. Now I can watch the stock, and then when I want to sell, boom, sell, I'm out. It takes 2 seconds to get in. Right? And you know, what's the problem? The problem is when people have this. The problem is when people have like all their previous orders up still. They have their previous orders up still. They have like, all right, that's and they don't clear out their old history. They see INT ripping, and they go, all right, INT ripping, guys, I'm about to hop in, and they're like, okay, ACB, okay, hold on, okay, INT 5. No, I can need 1,000. Am I doing a limit? Okay, let me do a limit order 405. Okay, wait, it just passed 4. Okay, 2, no 3, no 380. Okay, wait, hold on 1 second. Yep. Okay, 14. Okay, maybe I'll just market order on INT. Okay, boom, buy. It's like, what are you doing? Right? It's like you just wasted the whole entire rip. Now you buy it, and the whole entire thing is coming down on you. Right? Some people do that, and it's like you can't do that. You're going to be so late. I'm telling you, 30 seconds, guys, can be the difference. 2 minutes could be the difference between what? Between making hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars to doing what? To basically losing a ton. So you have to be ready. You have to be focused. You have to be all set to go. So that was just a little example on E-Trade. I did pull the trigger on TD Ameritrade this morning. And side note as well, we do have a live webinar coming on up with the CEO of Speed Trader. The CEO of Speed Trader and I have been talking a lot lately. That webinar is going to be happening next Wednesday. So that webinar is going to be happening next Wednesday, probably at around 7 o'clock at night, I would assume. So probably next Wednesday, 7 o'clock at night, and he is going to be going over allowing our traders to be able to open up an account with only $2,000 and be able to trade with no commissions on their trades. So pretty wild stuff right there, guys. Pretty wild stuff. That, you know, I've been talking to the CEO of Speed Trader. They usually only allow accounts that are around 50,000, but they are looking to drop it down towards around 2,000 and be commission free with all their trades. So we are going to have a live webinar with the CEO of Speed Trader, and he is going to be coming on and be talking to us, and that'll be for our members only, and that's going to be coming up next Wednesday, most likely at around 7 o'clock at night. So that's going to be, a pretty cool thing. Now, with that being said, I know a lot of people have been asking me questions about that, saying, Dek, how is that possible? What are we doing here? And again, I am going to be listening on the webinar just as much as you are. We have been talking for a little bit, and he seems like a very nice guy. I always love to work with companies, and I always like to work with different brokers or different scanners that I think are legit, have great customer service, and can of course help our community, help our team be as profitable as possible. So with that being said, I'm going to give him the platform next Wednesday, and for just Dekmar Trades members, he's looking to hook us up. So pretty exciting stuff right there. So far, we've seen ATOS go on a nice rip. We had INT go on a nice rip. We did see DCAR go on a nice spike and a nice rip as well. Or not DCAR, excuse me, DARE. And DARE, this just really comes down to patch chart history pattern, guys. Patch chart history pattern. Last time DARE spiked, what did we see? Let's take a screenshot really quickly of this. This was the last time it spiked. And what does this look like? This looks exactly like today. This is not today. This is like 6 months prior, right? This is all the way back. This was like 7 months ago. All right, that's a 7 and an M in months. I'll spell it out, even though it's pretty bad. All right, so we have, that's like 7 months ago. But the candle, the actual candle right here, this looks like the same exact candle as this one right here. And why is that? Guys, the stock, as I say, stock trading is basically, the same exact thing as like humans. Like they have genes, right? Where we say, hey, past chart history pattern can tell what the future is going to be like. If we see a stock have a very big gap up, a quick morning spike, and then dump on off, what do we think is probably going to happen in the future on these plays? A very big gap up, a quick morning spike, and dump on off. If we see a stock in the past that has gone on supernovas and big time breakouts, what do you think, your stock can do? It could probably go on a supernova and a big time breakout. It's the same exact thing if you're born and your parents have red hair and blue eyes. Most likely you're not going to come out, with brown hair and, green eyes. And then when you grow up, you say, who are you guys? You guys are not my parents, right? If your parents are super tall, you're probably going to be super tall. If your parents are super tiny with green eyes, you're probably going to be super tiny with green eyes. It's the same exact thing I like to relate it to with stock trading. We get big time breakouts in the future. We could see big time breakouts. If we see big gap ups and crashes in the future, you'll probably see big gap ups and crashes. So, that's how I always like to compare it a lot of times. And that's how, it makes it very easy for me to be able to say to myself, hey, you know what? I can kind of predict on what this is going to be doing next. All right. So, you definitely have to predict what these going to be doing next. But hey, great start to our Money Monday. I haven't really looked over in profits chat too much yet today, but we are seeing a ton of profits. Iggy's been killing it, 541 bucks. Or actually, Iggy, $1,200 on the day so far. Shout out to you, boss. I know you've just been killing it, and you've been laying out some alerts throughout the whole entire little bit right here. And again, it's just checking out. And again, as you guys can see as well, this is what it should look on everyone. Again, I put our top traders in this nice bright green right here so everyone can see that. But what do we got? 1,200 bucks right here. Jake made some nice profit, 100 shares. Daryl, 130 bucks, 180 bucks, 2,270 bucks. D Malik, awesome job. Less 643, 145. DRAE in at 219 out of 319. Jenna, that's awesome. So again, shout out to all you guys. And again, I could scroll up, all day. So again, awesome work for everyone doing that right there. Knoxberry, I see you coming in right now, 250 bucks. Whenever you guys have a profit, always throw it over in profit chat. You guys absolutely kill it. I love showing you guys off, and it's very, very inspiring. So keep up the great work as always. So with that being said, guys, it has been an awesome Money Monday. We have a lot of great things coming on up with our small account challenge starting next week. B, a CEO speed trader webinar next Wednesday. C, we have our March Madness giveaway. That's going to be starting on up. That's a really fun and exciting time. D, we are going to be having our giveaway today in chat every single Monday. I love giving things away to you guys because I think it's fun. I think it's all absolutely awesome, and I kind of get just fired up about it. We made some nice profit already today. And on top of that, we also have our ultimate trading course, up and ready, rocking and rolling. You guys can purchase that right on the top of the header of TradeCaster. And we also have a lot of new features coming this week before we go into our small account challenge. So, whoo, guys. I've been working hard for you guys, making sure you guys are in the best trading environment, the best trading community, and have the best trading platform available. I'm super excited. I'm fired up, and I hope you guys are as well. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Let's have a great week ahead, and let's keep on killing it.